What's up everyone, my name is Clarx and today I'm gonna show you how I made my brand new NCS release called Healing. Right now we're in the Sound Engineering Academy of Warsaw, where I did my bachelor's degree in sound engineering. And a cool thing is that they still let me use their studio, so I decided to record the making of video here instead of using my crappy and messy room for it. So let's go! So let's dive right in. This is how the project looks. And the whole process actually started from vocals. I received like 5 or 6 vocals from Moe Aly, and I like this one the most.
Just another doorway to open up and see what kind.
These were from Oscar Corney, very underrated vocalist. I loved the vocals, and I did the whole song in like a week because I was a big fan of the idea. And the first thing I did was creating a whole chord progression for the song. So like kind of like a whole MIDI score. Here's the verse.
Just another doorway to open up and see what kind of lifeline will be waiting there for me.
And then I thought it would be really cool to change the progression in the next part. So kind of to build more emotions and more energy, and just to make it more interesting.
I wanna fly over mountains, I wanna reach the end, I'll rise up from the ashes, I won't burn again, I'll find my own.
And then the next thing I did was trying to find a melody that could work for the drop. So a lead melody in the drop sounds like this.
I'm still healing, I'm still healing, healing.
And then I just started putting all of this into real instruments, or not real, or synths, or real instruments too actually. By the way, all the chords that I did here and all the piano that you just heard, I did that all by ear and with my mouse and keyboard, because I'm not really into music theory. I don't know much about this stuff. I just really like when it sounds good. As for the arrangement, I decided it could be smart to do like a standard one. So verse, build, drop, verse, build, drop. I actually have like an Easter egg drop in the end, but that's you can count that as the second drop. So let's start talking about the verse 1. There's one synth chord sound. It's from M1 actually. I really like this 70s piano. And then I added a bass line. I made a simple sound in Serum using the basic wave tables and just creating some movement in oscillator B. Next was piano. Which is just playing like a single note here, but it's building up. You can see the velocity right here, and it's playing one high note until it goes into some chords here. And then I added a little arp to introduce some extra element to keep things going. It was just a preset from Spire with a little edit of mine. As for real instruments, we don't only have piano, we also have strings, which are very interesting because they're playing both staccato and legato. So that's for the first part, and in the second part, the legato chords are joining. As for the drums, I used a lot of like big hall percussion sounds. I really love those. So yeah, for emotional breakdowns like this one, it's the perfect match. It's a layer. There's 3 sounds, and all together they are creating a beautiful like snare drum with a lot of hall. And of course, I could not forget to add my favorite little percussion hits with a lot of reverb on them. And a little reverse here. So it all sounds together like this. And then another one. Okay. And then another one. So yeah, a lot of little percussion with reverb. This one actually helps the snare a little bit. Now let's dive into the build part, which I think was crucial for the song. This is where everything actually starts. As you can see, that verse was nothing special. It was just stuff that sounded good. Well, especially the strings. But yeah, the build part is where everything is starting to happen. And this is where all the emotion are just exploding. So the first thing that I did was I took the chords that I wrote earlier and placed them over a bass sound. So the first thing that I did was place the chords that I wrote earlier onto a bass sound. And I tried to support it with more bass sounds, but those other bass sounds are playing higher notes. So like they're playing each element of the chord. So you can hear that it's not just a single bass note. There's more to it. So like this is the first bass sound. It's playing the lowest notes. And then I got some more that are supporting it, and they're playing higher notes. This one was actually cloned, and this one was different. Made it in Serum as well. All together sounds like this. And then I added a beautiful reverse to make it flow better into this part. I'm not sure, you can probably hear it. It's very important to use a lot of reverses in your productions. That really helps the transitions. And an important thing is to make those reverses yourself so that they're made from the sounds that you're actually using in the song. It's very important, and it's very cool. Works very well. And then, as for the piano in the build, it's almost the same piano sound. It's just the expression on it is a little higher. So you can hear it goes from like very soft chords into more like a dancey piano. I also tried to introduce the drop lead melody here with a low pass filter on it. As for the drums, the build part in the first part includes just a clap. But then more drums are joining. There's a kick, a snare, And some more stuff that I actually don't know what it is. Oh, there's a clock sound as well. It's really cool. I know Hans Zimmer uses clock sound, so I wanted to be as cool as him. And I used a clock sound, but with a little twist. I put a pitch automation on it, so it just so it kind of acts like an uplifter. So that's really it for the build part. I try to keep things as simple as possible. That way it's easier to fully enjoy a song. Let's move to the drop. Let's actually start with the bass. It was pretty simple because I just took it from the build. It was pretty easy. I made a different layer for it. So apart from this bass, which I already used previously in the build, I also added two different sounds to kind of support the bass, to make it bigger, and that's really it. I also added a sub bass. Of course, dance music needs a sub bass, and it's a Clarx sub, actually just a sine wave with some harmonics. As for the drums, super simple, kick, clap, and of course, some hall percussions. The processing for this one is really cool. So it sounded like this. And when I added my processing, it sounds like this. I also have more hall percussions. One of them is right here. It's just kind of like my signature style. Some fills. So let's talk about the drop lead. The drop lead melody that I showed you before is being played by 6 percussion and synth sounds layered into one. And here they are. Don't sound very good when they're single, but when they're together, and in the second part, I decided to shrink it a little and bring it down to just 4 elements. So that there's a little change and more space for new instruments or sounds, which are the vocal cuts, which I took some little parts from Oscar's vocals and made them onto these kind of cuts. And in the second part, we also have the top layer of the bass line joining us, the one that we already heard in the build-up. And that's really it. Apart from that, I only added hi-hats into the second part, and that's it. And that's really it for the drop. Super simple, but it works, right? Let's dive into the second verse. Obviously, it starts with a reverse. So it's this chord is in reverse right here. And this part was left unchanged. So it's the same as the first one, but in the part 2, I decided to introduce some cinematic drums and a little sound. Even the pattern is named Sound. It was like a little effects sound from Vengeance, which I turned into this. So obviously, as you can hear, a lot of hall sound, a lot of reverb. And the orchestral drums sound like this. So that's the second part.
So I stand up tall,
the second build is left unchanged because I thought it would be really cool to go back to this beautiful, majestic, energetic sound again. And yeah, the second drop is also left almost unchanged. I only changed the lead a little bit. I took 2 sounds from Seven Skies' library, Contact library, which you can see right here. And as you can hear, I layered them onto the drop lead that I had in the first drop. Apart from that, I also decided to put the hi-hats on top of the first part of the second drop, just so it's a little different from the first part. So it kind of like keeps the energy going. So the hi-hats start playing right away, not from the second part. And there's those, in the second part, there's those vocal chops again. And then we have the Easter egg.
I won't give up, I'm still healing. I won't give up.
So yeah, at first I was like, this is the end of the song.
I won't give up, I'm still healing.
And cool, the song is short, nothing to worry about. But then I was like, nah, it's missing something. And I called my friend Harry. Harry, I know you're watching, so hi. Thanks for the amazing guitars. Harry played an awesome part right here. And Clarx made the beat go halftime like this. And of course, this is like a trap part, so I had to swap the sub with an 808. And that's it, not very complicated either. The last bit of the song, which is also very important, it's always important how you end the song. It was a little difficult because I didn't know what to use at first for the outro, but all I did in the end was taking the top bass sound and stretching it out a little here. And when I added all the halls, reverbs, and filters. And that's it. Thanks a lot for watching. If you're a producer, try to keep it simple and you'll get there. If you want to be like me, try to use a lot of low pass and a lot of reverb. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, and go stream the song Healing. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.